Hello. Can I get a bear down? Welcome everybody to the Davis Sports Center and Arizona Athletics and the University of Arizona campus. This has been a day that we've been looking forward to for a long time. We are getting together for the 50th anniversary of Title IX. I have the pleasure to introduce our first speaker of the day before we kick off all the field activities events, and then we're going to have a panel later with some wonderful people to talk about the importance and significance of Title IX. But before all the field activities, we have one speaker that's going to kick us off, and that is Rocky LaRose. Rocky has been instrumental in paving the way for so many, not just female but male student athletes too, and all of our sports programs, 21 sports here at the University of Arizona. She has a great biography. I know that you all probably know who she is. We have a wonderful Legacy Lane named after Rocky with a home plate, if you haven't seen it, on the north side of the Jim Clay College Champions. And that significance is because of her wonderful career, and she has been just, again, instrumental in what we have done. I mean, she has seen so much, and part of this, seeing us grow. This Davis Sports Center here, she can tell you stories about when it used to be High Corbett, Sunset Stadium with the baseball field, and now how we moved them across off campus to High Corbett, and why, again, that was a wonderful thing for growing our sports and giving our student athletes a great student athlete experience. So on a personal note, as a senior woman administrator, taking over in that role that had the designation by the NCAA, which was previously Rockies, I knew I had big shoes to fill. But the wonderful thing about her is that she's a wonderful mentor. She made you feel really comfortable with what you're doing. She wanted me to be a part of every phone conversation with the Pac-12 and meetings with our coaches as we made that transition. And again, I just will be forever grateful for her. I think of her all the time with my Rocky flag when I'm making decisions about programs or other things, or giving recommendations to Dave Hickey, our athletics director. And so I just can't thank her enough for what she has done for us, so many of us on staff, but also for so many of our student athletes. So please welcome Rocky LaRose.
Good morning. First, let me say that Rocky's Legacy Lane was my greatest honor of all time, so I want to thank the athletic department for that honor. Oh, wow, we're here 50 years later. Isn't this amazing? And thank you, Erika, for all those wonderful words, and we appreciate everything that you do and have done, so thank you. And I want to thank the Department of Intercollegiate Athletics for hosting this event. The athletic director, Dave Hickey, thank you. Thank you for doing this. It's hard for those of us who were here in 1972 to believe that it's been 50 years, but it has. And it was 50 years ago today, on June 23rd, 1972, that Title IX was passed into law. Only 37 words. That literally was a game changer. And I say that pun intended. It literally threw the sports world upside down. And so I'm going to read you those 37 words. No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. 37 words. And the translation of those words, it's pretty simple. Girls get to play. And with that, the playing fields were flooded with young women, young girls, and women. It doubled, tripled, quadrupled participation, which was proving that all those years before, it wasn't a lack of interest, but rather it was a lack of opportunities. also proved that if you build it, they will come, which is exactly what happened. So here at the U of A, we want to thank the women who manifested those dreams and whose shoulders we stand upon. We'll start with the WAA and the WRA, the Women's Athletic Association, which later merged into the Women's Recreation Association. The WAA started in 1918 because the U of A campus was void of men. They were all off fighting World War I. And a bunch of co-eds got together and said, we need to do something to keep up the old grand spirit of the University of Arizona. And so they formed the WAA. And with that, in 1920, they ended up hiring Ina Giddings, who I'll speak about in a moment. Also, we thank the women of 1912 who wanted a women's basketball team and were denied by the faculty. The faculty said, you can have one game, but you have to do it in private. Nobody can come and watch, and you have to do it without sensation, whatever sensation is. So we thank those women. And we thank Ina Giddings, who came here in 1920 and really organized the Women's Athletic Association, which was intramural-based, extramurals, and recreation-type sports. And she grew that, and she was a motivator for the women on campus to come and join. And then we especially need to thank Dr. Mary Pavlich Roby, who was an undergrad here at the U of A herself. She graduated in 1948. She went on to get her master's and her PhD. And she was hired later in life to become the director of the Women's Recreation Association. And she took that dream, and it was her that had the quest and helped start the movement to have varsity athletics for women. And she succeeded. She became the first director of athletics for women for a women's only program that was housed in the Giddings building across the way. And the Women's Department of Intercollegiate Athletics was formed because of Mary and how she moved this forward. So we thank Mary. So let's look back over the last 50 years of the thousands of women that have walked through Giddings' door and through McHale Center, and think of all the successes that those women have had because of Title IX on the field of play. Their accomplishments, their victories. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna pat ourselves on the back. Here are some of the victories. You ready for this? We were the first university in the country to have 4 NCAA Women of the Year. Yeah, that's worth applause. The highest honor. In those 50 years, we've had 46 Olympic medalists, not just participants, medalists. 115 individual national champions. Let me repeat that. 115 individual national champions. 834 All-Americans, 41 conference titles for our women's teams. I'm a proud member of 1979 softball conference champs, Intermountain Conference. Thank you. And we top it off with 15 national championship titles. How about that? So congratulations to all of them. We also have to think of all the lessons learned. The learning through the agony of defeat, the leadership skills gained. Think of all the educational degrees that have been awarded in those last 50 years to our women. The friendships made, and those memories that will last a lifetime. And then I look out here at all the little ones that are joining us today, and I think of all the possibilities for their future. And then I think again, it's all because of those 37 words. Thank you. Happy celebration for the 50th anniversary of Title IX. Bear down.